This is Sybert signing in to Kane's Wrath on the map Small Town USA 1.02 Plus. Spawning as the purple GDI, we do have Bonus. That is right, it is going to be Bonus, and in the northeast, spawning as the green nod, it is GreenZERO. That's right, it is going to be Bonus versus GreenZERO 1.02 Plus, Small Town USA. This should be a good time, hopefully a better time than the last time I tried to cast this game, which was on the, release 5 of 1.02 Plus, and this game is from release 4, so of course about a minute in, the game desynced, and I was like, what? And of course remembered, oh yeah, because there's 8 versions of 1.02 Plus, so I had to go switch back. It's annoying, but not that big of a deal at all. However, Small Town USA, of course, buildings very important. There's tons of them, and it does look like Bonus and GreenZERO both able to grab buildings, I mean, relatively in similar positions as opposed to the opposite sides of the map. And GreenZERO is actually going to be grabbing the building in the south, while Bonus is going to be grabbing the building in the north. So Bonus got some pretty good scouting. GreenZERO not quite as good, but I mean, still, he's got pretty good spread as well. And of course, Operations Center is going to be the choice for GreenZERO, and he's got his Harvester out right now. Should be seeing the Harvester right there for Bonus. And so yeah, both of these players are going to be opening relatively standard. The twist for GreenZERO is, of course, going to be the Flame Tank. And I mean, he could have been going for Reckoner, but really with it that far back, probably not going to be a Reckoner. However, will Bonus spot this? Absolutely. Oh, actually, he's going to spot it with the Pitbull even more so than these two buildings. So that's the thing about on Small Town USA. It can be hard to pull off some rushes just because of how many buildings there are and how easy it is to grab those buildings. But we'll have to see what is the follow-up going to be. Oh, the MCV is actually going to be on the move. We don't have any Predator tanks on the map just yet. GreenZERO is packing up his MCV as well. So that's going to be pretty good for him. He's going to have pretty solid expansion timing, but with no Predator tanks out just yet, this Flame Tank might be able to do a little bit of damage, but actually, I mean, it should be getting cleaned up. Oh, actually, a Reckoner going to be added on as well. Pretty nice there. We'll be claiming down one refinery. A great opener here by, oh, doesn't quite get the refinery there, but a great opener here by GreenZERO, and actually bringing in the Scorpion tanks is a nice move as well. Could have reversed moved that one out a little bit and possibly drawn the Pitbulls away. The War Factory does go down. Bonus is in a lot of trouble. And GreenZERO with the Flame Rush is going to be able to possibly claim down a refinery. This game could actually be over pretty much right now, as we do have the MCV taking a little bit of damage, but more importantly, the refinery did go down, and now the range on those Black Hand units can apparently actually reach that refinery. The Scorpion tank's going to be taking a little bit of damage, and finally a Predator tank is now out of the Scorpion tanks. Should be able to pull back there. GreenZERO might want to go ahead and pull a couple of those back. I'm not sure if he'll decide to eject out. Oh, never mind. He already has. He's going to be going for that refinery, getting blocked off there by the Tib silo, but will he be able to get any more of the... Nope, doesn't get the refinery. Almost going to be claiming it there. The Scorpion tanks may have been able to finish that off, but at this point, GreenZERO just needs to go ahead and pull back. We'll claim one more Pitbull there. That was probably cost-effective. It seemed like it was. I mean, just in the fact that he killed one of the refineries, forcing the War Factory and the refinery to be rebuilt. I'm not sure exactly how many Scorpion tanks he lost, but he was killing units the entire time, so pretty much no matter what, that should have been worth it. On top of that, he does have the expansion going down, and it looks like Bonus does know absolutely about this, but what can he really do? Not a whole lot. Could actually be going for some rocket troopers. We'll have to see exactly what that what the Hand of Nod actually brings. And the Reckoner just chilling out in the base. A little bit of vision there for GreenZERO, so he'll have some scouting information, but ultimately it is going to be just a pretty standard follow-up for GreenZERO. Going to be getting his Harvesters up and running. Now does have that secret shrine, so it actually could be a lot of rocket troopers. Indeed it is. So this is really nice by GreenZERO. Going to be just like, hey, I hit you straight on, and now Bonus is like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and hit you straight on, but at the same time, GreenZERO is working on that flank attack, and I think Bonus should be able to see that. I'm not sure what the vision of the Foxhole is, but he should have enough vision to spot these rocket guys going to be moving out. Those militant rocket squads, especially with any upgrades that they grab, and actually going to be grabbing that Reckoner right before it gets eliminated. Going to be doing some damage, though. A nice pickup there by GreenZERO. Needs to make sure that he ejects those guys out before they get eliminated. However, it does look like Bonus hasn't quite moved out. However, the Orcas are out on the field, probably claiming a couple of Harvester kills. And actually, since there's no bikes on the map, these Orcas could be pretty darn effective. I'm not sure if they're best served actually shooting down these Scorpion tanks. Might be able to do more damage if they just go for Harvesters while they're docking, or even just get some damage out on that refinery, but he would have to actually move out in force. And I'm not sure if those rocket troopers know they weren't able to do a whole lot. It looks like they did get cleaned up. Could have been able to kill that spike, maybe. Would have been pretty close either way. Bonus would have likely stopped him. Confessor upgrade was purchased, and the Pitbull is going to be rolling in, claiming down one Harvester. Nice kill there. However, the Disruption Tower is down, which will make it a little bit more annoying for the Orcas to deal with anything. However, the Orcas rocking up at the same time when the Pitbulls are still here, revealing everything. Going to be claiming two Harvesters. A nice hit here for Bonus. He needs to make sure that he pulls his Orcas before he actually loses any of them. However, GreenZERO has harvested the majority of this field, so he doesn't necessarily need as many Harvesters. But he is going to be moving out with a pretty big force of units. Tiberium Infusion is done as well, so he's got both of the upgrades. However, is this actually going to be enough forces? AP ammo is done, so a couple of watchtowers in combination with APCs and some rifleman squads could actually take down this army, but we'll have to see. It looks like GreenZERO may be going, and actually, does he have any? I don't think he has a single flame unit in that entire army, which means buildings are actually going to be hampering him quite a bit. The base has been established, and it looks like a couple of Scorpion tanks did get picked off there for GreenZERO, so nice movement with those Orcas by Bonus, going to be picking off units here and there. However, GreenZERO going to be able to clean out the majority of these buildings and just annihilate those forces before he moves on. The scan does go down. However, Rocket Troopers are here to defend. Will he be able to grab any Harvesters? Not quite able to grab a single Harvester, unfortunately, for Bonus. May actually need to make another pass in this. Oh, the Shatterer did get a shot up, but it was just militant squads, not too big of a deal there. Is going to be able to get a couple of more shots, but he doesn't want to be engaging into these buildings, and he does pull on back, loses only a single APC. Not too big of a deal, but nice pickup there for GreenZERO, especially if he decides to follow up with any more of these Rocket Troopers. But really, he needs to start putting some pressure on this base, if at all possible. He just doesn't have a whole lot of stuff. His harvesting operation down in the south really isn't optimal. So he had a nice opener, but his follow-up, especially economically, just isn't working out. However, he will be able to do a fair amount of damage. Claiming down that Shatterer was a nice bonus. Definitely could have pulled that back before it got eliminated. Not going to be pulling back any of the APCs. He's just straight up tanking the damage. Will be losing an APC for it. Could actually be losing a second or a third APC. Attacking into these buildings is not necessarily what he wants to be doing, considering he's already got the command post. He could build just a single Grenadier squad, throw it inside of an APC, and clear out pretty much all of those buildings without too much trouble. Harvester going to be moving down. However, that tech center is down. Oh, the Orca's picking up another kill. There's actually no Harvesters on this field. Two refineries, one Harvester and a second one are going to be transferred down. A third and a fourth could be transferred down as well. As GreenZERO's like, yeah, there's not a whole lot of Tiberium there. Going to go ahead and move on away. But Juggernauts are now out, and the Orca's doing a pretty solid job of harassing Harvesters for the majority of this game. And transitioning once again back into that Rocket Trooper spam. Lots of Rocket guys going to be coming out. And the Orca Strike is most likely what's going to be coming down. Yes, it is going to be Orcas. Is there going to be the other Orcas that are going to be following this up? Quite possibly. And sometimes if you time it just right, you can have the Orcas absorb the anti-air damage. Regardless, we do have the Rocket Troopers going to be moving in here. They do claim one Harvester, possibly worth it, just cutting off that much money and forcing Bonus to go ahead and rebuild that Harvester. I'm not sure how many infantry he actually lost there. But GreenZERO being pretty darn active with these infantry and re-macroing on the right side of this. He does need to go ahead and get some more Rocket Troopers out, since Juggernauts, if the Rocket Troopers bunch up, the Juggernauts will do huge amounts of damage to them. But hasn't quite got the repairs on those APCs like he really should be. Claims one more APC, so a nice focus fire there from GreenZERO. And actually claims a Juggernaut as well. And actually, I don't think there's a barracks. There may not even be a barracks anywhere on the map. No, there is not. The MCV currently on the move. And the North Rifleman squad going for a slight scout there. Not a big deal at all, but needs to go ahead and throw down a barracks, even just for the engineers, to go ahead and reclaim those Juggernaut husks. Not sure if he will be doing that in a timely manner. However, the Marv is now out. GreenZERO going to be selling off that base. And actually, Bonus could go ahead and either recap these spikes or just destroy them. He's going to be moving out. He's got a couple of engineers and some zone troopers. Actually could get the engineers sniped. That would be a pretty big deal. No, the Marv does reverse move, so a nice catch there. Oh, and this could be a very bad situation for GreenZERO. However, the MCV was not deployed, which means watchtowers are not going to be ready as quickly as they could be. One will be thrown down on the front line, I would assume. Although it may actually, no, it's not going to be a sonic emitter, although that would be nice. However, going to be claiming down pretty quickly, and we do have the barracks going to be blocking off these rocket troopers from being able to fire at the juggernauts. The Orca's going to be coming in, but if they come in, they will get absolutely smashed. Going to be going to claim that barracks will be eliminated relatively quickly there. However, the APC is going to be getting a pretty nice flank attack here, and the second barracks does go down. Are there going to be any rifleman squads heading out of it? These forces are going to be overwhelming the juggernauts. A couple of more juggernauts do get eliminated. The third one does go down. The watchtower going to be able to do a fair amount of damage. However, juggernauts in the back going to be able to do some damage. They're largely just missing there. Not the best shots in the world. Yeah, a lot of these shots are just straight up missing from Bonus. He's not doing nearly as much damage as he might be able to, and the Harvester is actually just going to be taking damage. Could be using it to crush some of these forces, but GreenZERO is going to be crushing through the front door. And even the holograms on the north side are going to be absorbing some of these shots from the watchtowers. Another barracks does get deployed there. And unfortunately for Bonus, he's taken a ton of damage. All of those husks did get eliminated, and he just doesn't have enough to really hold this army off. One more juggernaut does go down there. And I feel like these hallucinogenic grenades have actually been doing a pretty big deal, in this engagement. More hallucinations getting eliminated there. Not too big of a deal, but the Marv on the right side of the map is going to be encroaching on GreenZERO's base. He does have an obelisk on the front line, but is he going to be able to hold the line? This is not what Bonus wants to be doing, just engaging at range against these infantry. Either one, he wants to be crushing them, attacking actually more useful targets, or pulling out of there, because at the rate that GreenZERO can produce infantry, that's going to be a very long fight for Bonus to eventually overcome. Nice snipe of those power plants, going to be sending Bonus into that low damage mode, taking advantage of the situation to go ahead and take out that watchtower. Will force the sell-off there, but now a power plant is down. However, there's no watchtowers queued. Does Bonus actually have enough money to hold on to that, to actually produce those watchtowers? I'm not entirely sure. Should just go ahead and sell off that refinery. Could have a fully health squad if he would have. Orca's going to be moving out once again to probably support the Marv, and going to be calling in that wonderful support power that is just hanging off the edge of the map. And the Marv may actually be getting claimed here, as a GreenZERO may be eliminating it from this game. And that is actually a pretty big deal. That Marv wasn't able to really do a whole lot. I'm not sure if he was able to maybe Marvis some of that field, but not that much was really done by that Marv. 2 MCVs on the field for Bonus, but is it actually going to be enough? He's spent a lot of money trying to make stuff happen, but another MCV and a Marv, not necessarily going to win you the game, especially not when the Marv effectively is just thrown away. Unfortunately for Bonus, he did lose that quite readily there at the hands of GreenZERO's militant squads. Just now going to be reclaiming that spike, but GreenZERO has already got the spike on the south side. Juggernaut's going to be picking up a couple of more kills there, unfortunately for GreenZERO. Was that? I thought that was a rifleman squad. Maybe not. However, 3 Juggernauts now on the field, but again, Juggernauts and Marv, they are great units. Granted, they are wonderful units, do huge amounts of damage, but when they're unsupported, they're almost useless. And GreenZERO with the big charge forward is going to be getting caught a little bit there, but he is force moving and not going to be taken under that suppressed fire stand, claiming one Juggernaut immediately and rushing forward to claim the other. Most likely all 3 of the remaining Juggernauts will be claiming a second one pretty readily here. We'll have to see, is the firing going to be good enough? There's no watchtowers on the front line, slowly going to be deploying it, but it is not enough. He's already upon him. GreenZERO going to be claiming down one more Juggernaut. Maybe he actually still hasn't killed a Juggernaut. A couple of more volleys should be able to deal with it. However, holograms on the left side are going to be drawing some fire most likely. However, Bonus is doing a pretty good job of focus firing aptly and eliminating a lot of these rocket troopers. And I'm not actually sure if he's focus firing individually or if that's really just lucky AI targeting. One more Juggernaut will go down, but the majority of GreenZERO's army, fortunately, the reinforcements are arriving. Otherwise, he would be the majority of it would be cleaned up, but he does have a fair amount of rocket troopers on the back foot, going to be pulling up to this base. A pretty good wall here that it's going to take GreenZERO quite a while to get through, but these watchtowers are unfortunately just being eaten up on the north side. The refinery is down for bonus, which will allow him to actually get some more money on the map, and GreenZERO still hasn't actually harvested that field. However, we do have Venoms out on the field. Does he actually have laser capacitors? I shouldn't think so, but he may have got it. No, he does just now have laser capacitor, going to be just adding a bit more damage. And whatever that is called, Redemption, I think, is going to be bringing back some of these squads as awakened, and he could actually be possibly EMPing stuff. I'm not sure if that would work very well. Will EMP the MCV is going to be taken down, possibly the Juggernaut as well. That Juggernaut seemingly able to survive for way too long, but it will be getting eliminated here. Nice EMPs of those watchtowers. However, back at home, and the Vertigo's now out on the field. Does have two of them, going to be bringing them in. The Orcas are going to be out for a strike. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be hitting. Possibly a harvester or something. Is actually going to be going for the air tower. Almost eliminated it there, but GreenZERO was on top of it. Repeat EMPs on the MCV. Could actually be dropping bombs on it. Wouldn't do a huge amount of damage, but it would help at least a little bit there. GreenZERO going to be taking down the AA, going to be following it up with the watchtowers, but bonus is in the north side of the map, harvesting away with two harvesters just loading up with all of that Tiberium. So, I mean, GreenZERO may be doing some serious damage, but at the same time, the MCV, if it gets eliminated, it's not that big of a deal. Could go ahead and sell off that refinery, get an extra rifleman squad to go ahead and do some damage. With a fully heroic rocket squad on the field, could actually focus that one down first so that he does eliminate that with his watchtower, and then start shooting down the other ones that don't do quite as much damage. So GreenZERO has been held off. He did a huge amount of damage. I'm not sure exactly if that was worth it, since the MCV does still stand. This base wasn't too important, but taking out the War Factory was definitely a nice move here. However, 4 Vertigos out on the field. What are they actually going to be going for? Is there a Marv out on the map? No, there is not. Not sure what he's going to be shooting down with these Venoms, although he could possibly just be waiting around, because, of course, Venoms do have that little anti-air gun, so he could actually be waiting around for aircraft. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be doing. And the Redeemer is now out onto the field. So epic units going to be all up in this game. It looks like it will be probably Engineer and the Black Hand squad as well. A solid choice for sure. GreenZERO going to be moving the MCV. I think he's wanting to make just a strong push and sort of retake this base, but there's not a lot of Tiberium there. And unfortunately, unlike Bonus, when he grabbed GreenZERO's old main where there was actually Tiberium, he was able to use it, but not a whole lot going on here for GreenZERO. Going to be grabbing that spike back. Pretty nice there for Bonus, just that late game economy. He's got actually all 4 spikes on the map. GreenZERO definitely up against the ropes, but he has brought his friends, and his friends involve a Redeemer. Firehawk's going to be taking a little bit of damage there. Could actually be bombing the MCV. We'll have to see if that actually happens. And on the front line, the Hand of Nod. Will he try to bust out any engineers to claim any of these buildings? Unfortunately for GreenZERO, the Marv has already been laser fenced, which means the engineers won't quite be able to get in there. Well, it could actually, but they were oh, never mind, not Shredder Turret on the front line, just going to be selling that off to get an extra squad or 2. However, on top of that, with the Grenadiers going to be EMP'd and the dual sonic emitters doing a fair amount of damage, but ultimately I don't know if it'll be enough, especially with Awakened squads showing up to the fight. They could actually be EMPing the MCV and denying some of those base defenses, desperately trying to marshal himself up some forces to deal with this. The EMP grenades fire off once again. Nice nail there on the Redeemer, going to be able to claim one of those. However, what is actually happening on the backside of this? I thought it looked like the Pitbulls were actually attacking the watchtower, and it's like, hey, same team. The Marv is going to be showing up, but we know what happened last time when the Marv's actually nice EMP there by GreenZERO. I didn't even see that one. But GreenZERO, the last time Bonus tried to attack with a Marv unsupported into GreenZERO infantry and obelisks, it did not work out, and now suddenly, with the MCV gone and the build radius shrinking, this Marv is in a more dangerous position, and oh, the Vertigos do drop at least some of their bombs. One does get claimed by those Firehawks, so a nice pickup there by Bonus. But is it going to be enough? It looks like GreenZERO may have been doing enough damage to actually push this base back. The Redeemer heavily damaged, but it's still standing. Low power mode, unfortunately, for Bonus. But does he actually have enough money? He's got 40 credits a second, which is more than GreenZERO pretty much has at this point. Almost no Tiberium left on the map. Could actually be selling off a couple of these structures. He should still have build radius from the War Factory, but free repairs on that Marv from the War Factory, exactly what he needs to be doing. And unfortunately for Bonus, there's not a whole lot of stuff that he can really sell off here. Is that actually, yeah, that is a engineer from GreenZERO going to be grabbing the one spike, should be going ahead and grabbing the second spike as well. A couple of harvesters will be getting eliminated there. Would have been nice for GreenZERO to get that income, so it's a nice pickup for Bonus, but not too big of a deal since harvesters aren't exactly doing a whole lot. But a nice kill there by GreenZERO on that harvester, although two Vertigos rather, going down for two harvesters. Not sure who actually wins out in that, since the harvesters weren't full of Tiberium. They weren't really harvesting a whole lot, but Bonus does want to make sure that he keeps at least one harvester on each of these fields, and actually, that may have been the majority of his harvesters in this game. If he has no harvesters left, then that was actually a pretty big deal, sniping down those last two. However, Spectre Artillery out on the field, going to be raining down fire from all the way over from the safety of GreenZERO's base. And a couple of shots here by the Obelisks are going to be happening on this Marv. Some free damage for GreenZERO, but more importantly, the Spectres, if they're able to take out that War Factory, that'll be absolutely huge. No more free repairs. The Rage Gen does go off, going to be forcing these units to re-attack. Unfortunately, the wrong stuff for Bonus, and still constantly with these Spectres, could actually go ahead and take down that power plant, although the splash damage will do that anyways. May actually be enough to send Bonus into that low power mode. He only has 3 power plants in the north. The power plant does go down, of course, an upgraded power plant. And he does have those base defenses offline, which really, if he keeps them offline for too much longer, he should just sell them off. Yeah, he should just sell them off at this point, as he does cede this section of the map to GreenZERO. The airfield does still stand. GreenZERO wants to make sure that he grabs that Tib spike if he can. I'm not sure how much money he's got, but I don't know if he can actually sell off any of these power plants. It's always so dicey because, of course, you don't want to just sell off power plants and have your production go downhill from there. But at the same time, sometimes you just need the extra cash. And airfield almost getting eliminated here. So GreenZERO, if he's able to make another strike against this airfield and eliminate that, then once he cleans up the airfield on the left side, that'll effectively eliminate the air superiority that Bonus has been having for the majority of this game. Couple of Spectres in this army, going to be a nice addition. If they can get some solid shots off on that Marv, it will lend a nice edge to GreenZERO. However, Orca's rolling up to this base, going to be sniping down. Oh, they missed the harvester, but just barely. They were able to claim that air tower and actually going to be expending some rockets, although they will claim 2 of the harvesters there. So a pretty nice kill there by Bonus is going to be able to claim some extra deaths for his side. At the same time, his Marv is going to be getting pulled back. He doesn't have a barracks, which means no EMP Grenadiers are going to be out on the field, unfortunately, for Bonus. And I mean, he can't necessarily contend straight up. No, he does have a Grenadier squad, but it gets eliminated here, as right there, it does get finished off. I don't know that that was necessarily worth it to sacrifice that Grenadier squad like that, because if he wants to have a good time against this Marv, he is going to need those EMPs. I mean, I don't think he has necessarily enough army to really contend, especially with artillery from GreenZERO just firing from the back, constantly doing damage. Although if he sneaks in with Orcas, that could be a really nice move there by Bonus, sneaking in with some Orcas. The shots do happen, and GreenZERO doing more damage to that Marv, even while on home base. Could just go for that War Factory and start taking that on. I'm not sure if he's in range. It should be pretty darn close. If he's not, he's only got to move forward a little bit. Firehawks, did they actually just bomb that building? Like, even bombing the power plants would be a better idea than just straight up bombing that building. I'm not sure if that's what they did, but it looked like that's what they were doing. And ooh, more Spectre artillery fire. And really, does he have any Orcas? He's got 2 airfields. He does have 3 Orcas. And actually, there's a surprising lack of militant squads, at least militant rocket squads. There's 2 in those buildings, which, I mean, really, with the right angle of attack, I'm not sure if he would be able to spot them. But, I mean, with the... Does he actually have the pulse scan on the orcas? I'm not sure if that... Oh, yes, he does! Able to grab one of them there. Unfortunately, for GreenZERO, he was deployed. And, yeah, so he didn't even have to detect the stealth. He didn't have to worry about that, because he just waited for the opportune moment to strike and was able to do a fair amount of damage. Goodbye, refinery. GreenZERO slowly but surely making his way through the base of Bonus, going to be able to clean that up. The pit bulls could be brought in here just to make sure that the Spectres don't escape, but with how far they just pulled back, they're no longer on the front lines, which means the Redeemer would be able to eliminate those pit bulls very, very easily. And this airfield's still on the map. GreenZERO. That was actually pretty great that it took Bonus that long to see and kill that. I mean, I didn't even see it, so I'm not exactly surprised, but Bonus unfortunately letting that stand for the majority of that game. So an upgraded power plant by GreenZERO, nice tucked away in the corner. Green kind of blends in with the terrain and the trees. Marv going to be moving in. Is it unsupported? The orcas are going to be getting chased away. They're not able to quite tank the damage, and I mean, there's nothing on the front line for them really to attack, so they can't claim any quick kills and then get out of there. That power plant there pretty much the entire game. I wonder if that was actually the first power plant that GreenZERO placed, like the longest life for a power plant ever, pretty much. But the Marv is going to be rolling up, could actually be running over a couple of these harvesters if he goes, nope, never mind, as that, I didn't even look like there was any Tiberium there, but he just got 115 credits for it. So good on Bonus, going to be able to claim that extra money. MCV going to be forced to be pulled back, and do we actually have EMP coils? Yes, we indeed do, so we could see some pretty sweet EMPs. We'll have to see if GreenZERO makes the mistake of EMPing repeatedly his own Raider buggies, and actually an extra Raider buggy could just lock down this Marv. No, he is going to be saving it. Does lose it. Nice pickup there for Bonus. Does want to be able to eliminate as many of those EMPs as he can. Of the Raider buggies, oh, an Orca does go down. Have actually all of the Orcas gone down. The Redeemer on the front line, the EMP Grenadier is going to be locking it down. However, with these Spectres here, they actually should be able to focus down these infantry pretty darn effectively, but the repeat EMPs are definitely good enough to keep that Redeemer locked down for quite a long time until the Spectres actually start taking them out. However, Firehawks out on the field, and they're not great against units, but are they going to be enough? No, they're actually terrible. Like, I thought they were going to do more damage than that. But even Spectres, they're not exactly the toughest units in the game, and they can survive bombs from a Firehawk. The War Factory is down. Both of these players about to be dealing out massive damage as the Tier 3 does go down. GreenZERO is able to sell off a couple of those power plants there. Might just be running. Oh! That's actually a pretty big deal. Almost 3 grand they're just sitting in those harvesters. And Bonus missing the EMP. A nice whiff there. Unfortunately for Bonus, he may have lost his opportunity. Although if he can keep a couple more of these Grenadiers alive, he may be able to grab the Marv. Will miss it again there. Unfortunately for Bonus, he may have lost his opportunity to actually kill that Redeemer. Marv in the south going to be cleaning up the entire expansion. And now that that field has actually regrown, and actually Bonus, if he at all can, I'm not sure the MCV was likely eliminated. Bonus completely out of position. This may be the last building for Bonus, and suddenly the stakes just got raised as there's a power plant and an airfield left for Bonus. Yeah, I don't think there's a single MCV anywhere on the map. The Raider buggy's going to be getting pulled back here just to join up with the rest of the army. The MCV slowly but surely moving out. Bonus has been defeated. And a crazy game from GreenZERO and Bonus. Really good moves by both players throughout the entire game. And I really like that man spam transition in the kind of mid-game there for GreenZERO, just hitting with a flank attack. Did a fair amount of damage there, but Bonus just absolutely resilient in that game, moving along, playing it smart for the majority of that game, other than really losing the Marv, just raking in the kills against those infantry. I mean, right there, 454 units killed. Bonus cleaning up a huge amount of those militant rocket squads. But in the end, GreenZERO was able to make it happen. And really only about 17,000 credits of difference. So not that big of a deal considering a 27-minute game. But Bonus was ahead for pretty much that entire game. And I know GreenZERO in the midpoint there wasn't actually harvesting a whole lot, and that definitely affected this game, possibly just pushing that duration out just a little bit longer than it otherwise would have been. But overall, a pretty solid game from both players. I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly did. This is going to be Sybert signing out. Thank you very much for watching.